Greetings, folks. This is the sequel to the Hero shoveling technique. Today we have a lot more snow from a big major storm. So I'm going to demonstrate how to shovel correctly and more healthful than most people do it. Again, we're going to be using primarily two stances, the front stance and the horse stance. You can reference the first Hero shoveling technique video to understand the differences and the mechanics thereof. This morning it was 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Hence, I am dressed much warmer than the first video that I had done. The important thing is to dress appropriately. You need to have proper foot gear, insulated boots, really good gloves, and these are insulated pants and an insulated coat. So bear in mind, there are different kinds of snow to deal with. In the first Hero technique video, there was not much snow, and it was very easy to move around. This particular snowstorm, the snow was heavier. It's still fluffier and not that heavy, saturated, wet snow. But in either case, the Hero technique can effectively work with both. Sometimes you get snow with an ice crust on it. You got to break through it, but the snow is softer underneath. And you could still use this technique with that. The most difficult shoveling is when there is an ice storm with snow on top of it. So you have a layer of ice underneath the snow that's very slippery. That requires great skill if you're going to attempt to shovel that utilizing these stances. You better have mastered them, because you'll need the muscle strength to hold the stance, and you'll have to wear ice grippers on your boots so you don't slip and slide. So for this demonstration, I'm going to first shovel. We don't have too much in this particular area that's accumulated, but you'll see how the stances work and how effective they are moving more snow. So I'm gonna clean this area. I'm gonna alternate sides too, so you can see both. Alternate sides. Don't forget, inhale as you scoop, go into the hips. Exhale when you throw out the arm to release it. You can also do smaller portions, cut it in half. So I'm going to do this much faster, just so you can see how efficient it can be. Here I will be shoveling on uneven ground, and you will get to see the utilization of both stances. The great thing about these stances, when you lower your body, your center of gravity, with as straight a spine as possible, is it becomes a whole body exercise where you're stimulating the overall circulation because you're utilizing upper body motion as well as by lowering your stances, incorporating the lower half, incorporating the muscles below. In so doing, these stances can also be used to shovel anything, not just snow, anything just about. Certainly gravel or sand, dirt, soil, you name it. You can also incorporate them in your daily routines, doing household chores like vacuuming, even doing the dishes. You lower your stance in a horse stance with a straight spine so you're not leaning over the sink. You're, aggravating your lower back muscles. So here we go. I also wanted to demonstrate that you can thrust the snow away utilizing your hips in a horse stance. The important thing is that your body is relaxed, and then it's easy to incorporate the hips. I'll demonstrate. So here I am in a horse stance. I scoop, and then from here I'm going to rotate the shovel in that direction in front of me and just using hip snap. Okay, it's just exhale. I'm just using hip snap from the horse stance. These are some of the little secrets that you learn as you go along. It's not that hard. The important thing is to take your time, stay relaxed, lower your center of gravity, and utilize breathing techniques. Scoop, inhale, pull it into the hips, exhale, thrust out the snow on the shovel. Okay, now I'm going to expedite the process. Let's see how I do. Share the experience with your kids. They need to learn how to stay healthy in the winter weather and the snow. Okay, if there does happen to be a crust on the top of the snow, this is how you would attack it. simply box out the portions that you're going to be moving. Okay? And you continue along that way. Okay? To clarify one thing about not having a bent spine, a lot of people shovel this way. They bend over, legs are straight. See how far away the weight is from my body. See how the spine is bent over. All this stress is aggravating the muscles of the lower back, especially when you're older. And then from here, they throw it. Okay? Sometimes it sticks on the shovel. So when I'm shoveling in a horse stance, and I say, keep the spine as straight as possible, it's difficult to be perfectly vertical. So you're in a horse stance, and this is you're vertical. But now you have to scoop the snow. So you have to lean a little bit, but I'm keeping the spine straight. The important thing is that my center of gravity is low, I'm relaxed. So I lean a little bit, but I'm keeping the spine straight. I'm not hunched over, okay? Spine straight. And when you lift up the snow, you pull it into the hips. That straightens the spine vertically. And from here, I can either thrust with some hip snap in the horse stance, like this, okay? Or I can transition into the front stance, as demonstrated before, and then back to the horse stance. You can also utilize the back stance in shuffling. As straight spine as possible. I have to lean a little bit, pull into the hips, inhaling, and then thrust, exhale. Even in the back stance, you can use the hip. Okay? Okay? Feel free to send any comments or questions regarding the hero shoveling technique. My goal is to make sure people use proper body mechanics to prevent ill health, bad backs, muscle strain on one side or the other. You have to alternate sides. And the breathing is essential. Remember, inhale when you scoop, inhale pulling it in, and then exhale. Okay? How easy it is to thrust the snow with the hip snap, and your arms just throw them out. So as the winter progresses, if we get more snow with different types of conditions with the crust on it, as I demonstrated earlier, or if it's heavy wet snow especially, that's important, really important, to focus on the dynamics of this technique. Otherwise, you could really injure yourself. And trust me, snow blowers, many of them jam up from that heavy wet snow, and they're useless. So you're relegated to having to shovel by hand. If you have no other alternative but to shovel manually, that's the purpose of this video, is to show you a healthier method.